Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a very quick comparison here between the Sony Xperia XZ1 Compact and the Samsung Galaxy S8 to see, which is the faster device here. This is an Exynos 8895 Galaxy S8. It came out about 6 months ago. Can Sony's latest phones keep up with the S8? That is the question here, because Samsung phones usually do slow down after time, so it'll be interesting to see. Obviously we are running Android Nougat still on Samsung. Don't think you're going to get a very fast Oreo update, but it does come with a bezel-less kind of infinity display here, which looks absolutely gorgeous, gotta say. Sony's looking a little bit outdated in terms of the bezels, but it is a very nice compact design. Obviously 4.6 inches versus I think 5.7 inches or something. Lots of display in the Samsung Galaxy S8, gotta say. So we have installed a few apps on both of them, and we're just going to see which is the quicker device here. Both of them have everything shut down, and both are fully up to date. So let's go. So what was that? I think I have an app which is causing some trouble here, so let's just get rid of it, because it is a bit annoying how we get that pop up. I do like the new Oreo gestures and stuff when you want to install stuff. It looks pretty awesome. So we're just going to go through these apps here and see. So it looks to be quite similar actually. Maybe Sony on a few of them, like the dialer there. Definitely on the dialer. And again, weather. Well, yeah, definitely Sony there. Completely leaving Samsung standing, and the camera. So I think Sony is pulling out ahead here. What about the Play Store? That was Samsung coming back there. I think the Samsung display is a little bit brighter here, which will be noticeable outdoors. So we're just looking at the game's performance here. So we have a pop-up, I think they both loaded about the same time, so nice and quick. Old classic here, which many of you won't even played. Oh, so which one to load first here? I think that was Sony Boy again. So nice fast load there. Mario is winking at me, so I want to download it. I'm sure he wasn't winking before. And that was Samsung coming back. Very nice. So there's no conclusiveness here when it comes to the games. It looks a bit more mixed really. Samsung again. So I'm going to give the games I think a draw here when it comes to the load speed. Wow, Sony taking a long time with that game. On the speed front, I'm going to check out the Wi-Fi. See how they compare here. So both are on the same. So I think you can get the S8 now for probably the same kind of price as Sony's latest like flagships here. And it does still come with some nice stuff which you won't find with Sony, such as an AMOLED display. We're also obviously getting, I think, 64 gigs internal storage here versus only 32 gigs. Both of them do support expandable storage though, which is good. And I think the battery is better on the Sony according to the benchmark, but not by much. So in terms of the Wi-Fi here, you can see who is the boss. Are we going to give Samsung another chance? No, we're not. This is it now. We have conclusively seen the Wi-Fi score there. And finally, let's look at the multitasking here and see what the multitasking is like. Sony usually pretty good here. We do have 4 games open, and I've turned off the smart cleaner thing, which ruins the multitasking. And you can see it looks pretty smooth here, like butter. Actually, I'd say it's like coming up a little bit faster on the Sony, but it's more of like an animation. That could have been a reload there on the Sony. And again, so we are seeing some reloading here when it comes to these beta caps. But the animation is quite quick, so you don't really notice it. I mean, it's much faster than Samsung. Let's just try the games here. So you can see Sony a little bit quicker to go back in there. And every little nanosecond counts, you know, when you're busy, you want to get into it as fast as possible. I mean, you can't discount how all this adds up. So very nice and buttery when it comes to your games. No reloads or anything, as you can see. So this is the first compact phone with 4 gigs of RAM now. So I think all the rest had only 3 gigs, and you can see it's really done well here in terms of that. Yeah, I think you can conclude here. In terms of the games, it's quite mixed, but I think the basic apps did go to Sony. Did we do a browsing test? I don't think we did, so let's just quickly do that. So we're just going to load a web page here, such as, let's try BBC. Some people do like to see the, oh, that wasn't very fair. So let's just make it fair here and go to the same one. Go. Oh, so that was, I think, Samsung, but only just. And again, Samsung does have its own browser, so you know it can optimize the content a little bit better. But I think in terms of the actual viewing experience here, it's pretty nice on the Sony considering how small the display is. I have actually bumped the content text to be a bit bigger though. So yeah, just a quick little speed comparison here between XZ1 Compact and the S8. If you want my opinion, you know, I think there's definitely some pros and cons to consider here. You know, the camera, in my opinion, is going to blow away the Sony because they're still sticking with no optical image stabilization. But this fingerprint sensor does really kind of damage the device compared to the one on the side here with Sony, which is much more usable and practical day to day. You're also getting a physical shutter button, which is also pretty good, and Sony's audio optimizations, you know, to consider here. The device feels more sturdy as well, like it's built to last, and you know, more grippable, whereas this is like glass, so you know, you might drop it. It does look good though, you know, at the end of the day. So yeah, I will be doing some other comparisons with the XZ1 Compact. Hope you found this one helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.